time given, I would like to state the problems that the human race is facing. First thing about me, I am an out of the box guy in its true sense. So I'm not a homeopath, I'm not Millet Man of India, I'm not a scientist, I'm not this, I'm not that. I am all of that and beyond. Because the reason is that we have been broken, we have been divided in our mind itself by these corporate companies. In the last 200 years, we have been designed to be an expert of this, expert of that, expert of that. And that is the basic problem that the human mind gets addicted to. They think they are experts in something, and then you are in that mumper. You think you are an expert, and that's the addiction, first addiction that you have. So there is nothing like an expert. There is no expert in this world. All are learning, because there is a lot to learn at any given point of time. So first of all of you fellows, don't mind my words, okay? Fellows, there is no expert in this world. We are all learning all the time, because nature has so much to offer that generation after generation, thousands of generations, millions of generations cannot accumulate enough to say that we have learnt them something. So no one is learned. We are all learning. And there is enough to learn. So let's all be students at any given point of time, all the times. All the times. Corporatization of food, centralization of politics, and urbanization of human race. These three are the basic problems that the planet is facing today. Corporatization of food. Can you believe the whole world is eating rice, wheat, sugar, and the remaining byproducts called meat? And to produce this, the whole human planet is consuming the natural resources. So please do not use the word when you eat food. You don't consume food. It is these words that the Western thought process, which is based on the corporate culture, has engulfed the human race, the human mind. That we do not consume things. We need to use, utilize, eat. We are consuming nature itself, because to produce 1 kilo of rice, you need 8,000 to 10,000 liters of water. To produce 1 kilo of sugar, you need 28,000 liters of water. You need to produce 1 kilo of meat. It doesn't matter what meat it is. You need 50,000 liters of water. So this is the consuming culture that we have ushered in the last 50 to 60 years. And C3 grasses, rice and wheat, have been selected conveniently for the corporate culture, so that they can, in the name of science and technology, have taken away the rights of the seeds of the farmers of the planet by declaring the millets, the C4 grasses that grow 95% of the planet at any given point of time, 10 degrees to 50 degrees centigrade. The most beautiful, most flexible grasses that you can have on this planet. And these guys, these so-called green revolution experts, use the same words: primitive food, coarse grains, animal feed, and made the change in the human mental perception that the whole world can grow the real food. And then we are told by these so-called experts that this is not the food that you should be eating. Even today, FDA, the so-called apex body of agriculture on this planet, which is in America, declares brown top millet, which is actually grown in tons and tons, even today as we speak in Colorado, not for human consumption. Bird feed. Now all over the world, so-called agricultural experts think millets are bird feed and animal feed. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years, time immemorial, it was the feed for birds, it was the feed for pigs, it was the feed for the animals, it was the feed for humans too. It was the feed for humans too. And these experts came and said, this is not the food for you. We have grown the food. We have taken away the rights of the seeds of the people on this planet, and you should eat only this. And all the biochemists, including Nobel laureates, till today have not risen single sentence, single question. How on the earth you can eat rice and wheat and maintain the balance of homeostasis of the blood? All are so-called experts, big biochemists. When the food was switched from millets to rice, wheat and sugar, no expert asked this simple question. Why the hell are we eating rice, wheat? Because it cannot control the release of glucose into your bloodstream. They didn't ask, even today they have not asked. I have been asking this question for the last 30 years. In fact, I asked this question when I was doing my BSc itself. So, even today, the so-called experts are conveniently passing on saying that for some reason we have forgotten the millets. Sorry. All the so-called big journalists, so-called scientists, including IIMR, Indian Institute of Millet Research. In fact, there is no Millet Research Institute at all in the world. That was a Jover Research Institute. Recently, in 2017 or so, they converted it itself into Indian Institute of Millet Research. They don't even have the seeds of many of the millets. And these guys, again the experts, so-called experts, are claiming we have forgotten these grains. No, we didn't forget, because even today there are tribal areas eating these grains and being very healthy. They have been told it's a primitive food, and they have been pushed. The so-called PDS system is pushing rice and wheat into their mouths too as we speak today. This is happening all over the world. So if these experts, if the journalists do not speak the truth, even at least now, we are not going to go into the right direction going into the future. At the behest of corporate companies, the human race has been derailed from the real food, because it is the millets, which are C4 grasses, while making the grain, incorporate the fiber along with it that looks to take care of the release of the glucose into the bloodstream of human race. Not only human race, any animal that consumes it, so that the homeostasis of the blood is maintained. No disease can occur if you eat millets. At the root cause of the disease is taken care by the food called millets. And at the behest of corporate companies, these doctors and the experts have been hiding this even today. And now all over the world, people are telling millets are resilient, nutrition, and the same experts now are telling millets are nutraceuticals. The same mouths are blabbering these words. Oh, all these years they were not nutraceuticals? Nutrition has been the forte of millets. There are 200 varieties of millets all over the planet. It's not local food. It is universal food. Because 90% of the planet can grow this food at any given point of time, at any given conditions. And what right or what logic did these experts have when switching over from basic millet food to the stupid rice, wheat and sugar as the base food for the whole human race? And human race did not question. And now we are facing host of diseased condition. In fact, the book, the protocol book, which we have diligently worked for 8 years. We have eliminated each and every single disease that is caused by this stupid modern day life, food, corporate, industrial food culture, by feeding them the millet food, the right choice of the millets, right rotation of the millets. We have healed all kinds of nonsensical diseases that these people have been creating, and then claiming on top of it that these diseases are incurable. In 1954, in India, there is an act called Wonder Drug Act, which declares below given diseases cannot be cured. If someone advertises that they can, they be put in jail. 1954, we didn't even know the terms called diabetes, BP, thyroid. This is the proof of what I am talking. I am now having 2 more minutes. I want to finish. This is the proof of what I am talking. The corporate companies have sat in their boardrooms and twisted the arms of all the governments all over the world, made this happen. So the rice and wheat costs more than 3,300 rupees per kilo. If you all so-called journalists and so-called experts are, many of you are telling millets are not easily available, they are very costly. Even today, millets without any subsidies, zero help. It costs not more than 500 rupees per kilo. And you all guys have paid already 3,300 rupees per kilo of rice and wheat. On top of it, again you are paying 50 or 60 rupees given anywhere. 2.39 lakh crores is written off to the fertilizer and pesticide companies by the Indian government each and every year. And maintenance of these dams to irrigate costs, I don't know how much. I calculated it alone costs per kilo more than 1,280 rupees to produce. So this is what I mean, that we are so naive. We think rice and wheat is cheap, but it is made cheap by this devious, crooked policies of corporate, hand in glove with the so-called politicians. And we here sit and say millets are costly. The cheapest food, zero. In fact, I will provide food for 70 billion people free, if only we think that is our food. It is not our food. It is coarse grains, it is pig feed, it is animal feed, it is primitive food. And that's what everyone tells, and we continue to believe it so. And including the present day experts are telling somehow we need to get back to millets because they are resilient. They are nutraceuticals. They are not just nutraceutical, they eliminate the disease at the origin. And I will explain to you the science of millets when I get more time. I have taken more than what I am supposed to, 1 minute extra. But this is the base, this is the introduction. And please don't be naive. Speak the truth. And if you are thinking you are following Gandhi, I don't see any way nearby what you are talking. Please speak the truth fearlessly.